Hi friends and subscribers, this is Mahmoud Sheikh, and from past few videos I am working on video tutorial series on Java programming language. In this video I will discuss one of the most important concept of any programming language, which is loops. Okay, so we use loops in almost all programming language, and in Java as well we will use loops. Okay, so there are different types of loops like for each loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay, so in next 3-4 videos we will be discussing how we can use these different types of loops using Java language. Okay, so loops are used to perform or to execute some task or some set of tasks for a specific number of times. Okay, suppose for example, if we want to display some numbers, if we want to display some range of numbers, then we can use loops. If we want to make the sum of some numbers, if we want to make the sum of numbers from 1 to 10, then we can put that calculation inside for loop, and we can quickly add those numbers and we can display the result. Okay, so now let us try to understand it in a better way with the help of this example. Okay, now let us see. I don't know about the concept of loop. Okay, so and I want to display the numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so here I have written 10 numbers. Let us say I want to display 5 numbers, and I don't know what is loops. Then what I will do is I will just keep on writing the system.out.println statement 5 times, because I want to display 5 numbers. Okay, so this takes too much of time, and code also will get repeated many number of times. Okay, suppose if I want to display 100 numbers from 1 to 100, then you can imagine I have to write this line of code 100 times. Okay, so what if we have a concept which allows us to display these numbers from 1 to 5 or from 1 to 10 with just a single line or just with a couple of lines? Okay, so for loops or any type of loop allows us to do that. We can quickly display many numbers between 1 to 10 or between 1 to 100 using few lines of code. Okay, for that we just have to keep this single line inside our for loop. Okay, so now here you can see this is the syntax of for loop. Okay, so for and then bracket int I equals to the value from which it has to be started, loop has to be started, and then the condition I less than or equals to 5 and then I plus plus. Okay, here I equals to 1 is called as initialization. Here we are initializing, we are assigning the value of 1 to the variable I. Okay, so this is our initial value. And next is condition. Okay, here I'm checking in each and every iteration, I'm checking whether the value of I is less than or equals to 5 or not. Okay, so here I'm trying to print the numbers from 1 to 5, so in every iteration inside the condition it's going to check whether the next number which is going to be printed is less than or equals to 5 or not. Okay, so in the 6th iteration, when the value of I becomes 6, here according to the condition gets false and will come out of the loop. Okay, and then third part is I plus plus. Okay, so every time when the value of I gets incremented or changes, that's because of this I plus plus operator. Okay, so here I am incrementing the value of I from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, and from 4 to 5. Okay, so for loop or for loop syntax has 3 parts: initialization, condition, and increment and decrement. Okay, here you can decrement as well. Okay, you can display the numbers in decreasing order as well. Okay, so this is the syntax and small explanation of for loop. Okay, so now let us try to understand this for loop in a better way in our NetBeans editor. Okay, so I will just create a file. Okay, and right click on the project folder and then new, and I will click on Java class. Okay, and then type for loop. Okay, Okay, now it has created a file for me. Okay, now I will not take any import. Okay, I will not import any classes. Instead of that, I will just start typing public static void main. Okay, and then string args. Okay, and then try. Okay, now first I will give you a demo what happen if you don't use for loops to display the numbers. So let's first catch exception e and then system.out.println. Okay, exception. Okay, now I will display. Okay, now I want to display the numbers from 1 to 5. So what I will do is, I don't know about for loop. Okay, so when I don't know about for loop and the functionality of for loop, so what I will do is print ln, I will type 1. Okay, and the same thing I will just copy and I will paste here couple of times. Okay, and then I will just change it to 3, 4 and 5. Okay, now you can see since I have not used for loop to display the numbers from 1 to 5, that's the reason why I had to repeat this particular piece of code or line of code 5 times. Okay, so now let's run it. First let's compile it. Okay, now let's see. Okay, build successful, and now if I run this file, it's displaying me 5 numbers. Okay, so now we can display these numbers, but the number of lines that I have written is too many. Okay, and this is not the correct way of writing the code. Okay, so here in this I have just repeated the same line 5 times. Okay, so now I had given you this example just to make you understand how for loop is going to help us. Okay, so first let's import. Okay, so let's need. Okay, let's first use a for loop for. Okay, and now for int I equals to 0. Okay, let's start from 1. Okay, 1, I is less than or equals to, let us say 5, and then I plus plus. Okay, next I will just type system.out.println, and now I will print I. Okay, so now you can see here I have created a for loop, and inside the first part, which is the initialization, I have initialized the value of 1 to the variable I, and inside condition I'm checking in every iteration. I'm keep on checking whether the value of I, which is 1 in this case, is less than or equals to 5 or not. Okay, so in the first iteration the value of I1 is less than 5, then it will print the value of 1. Okay, and in the next iteration the value of I will get incremented using this increment operator. Okay, now the value of I became 2. Okay, now you can see here I will become 2, and here again I will check whether the 2 is less than or equals to 5. Since the condition is true, then it will display 2. Okay, so the same thing will happen until we have the value of I equals to 5. Okay, which is the last step or the last iteration. Here if the value of I is less than or equals to 5, okay, the value of I is 5. Now 5 is less than or equals to 5, that means condition is true, and now it will print the value of 5. Okay, so this is everything about for loop. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, now it's displaying me again 5 numbers. Okay, now if I change it to 10, and now I will save it, and when I run it, you will see it's displaying me 10 numbers. Okay, so now you can see with the help of for loops, it's very easy to perform some tasks, to perform to display some set of numbers, or to display the sum of different numbers. Okay, this is everything about for loop, syntax, and the working of for loop. I hope you like this video, and I hope you got some useful and valuable information out of this video. If you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video, where I'll be discussing another program. I will discuss, or I will write another program using for loop. Okay, till then, goodbye and thanks for watching.